guys. Okay, this is a fifth video on financial planning to buy a car. All right. So for this video, you need to open your student work booklet, and okay, so let's see. There's some checklists for the things we need to do. This video, I'm going to focus on the introduction part of this assignment. All right. So in the introduction part, there are two subtopics. One is the aim of this assignment. The second is the steps required to solve the problem, which is what we call math modeling, right? And for this part, you need to refer back to some of the work you've done. So let me tell you what you need to get ready for it. Okay, for example, you need that spreadsheet of financial planning, all right? And also you need to get the worksheet you've done for the loan, all right? That would be the page 5 and 6 of the task of your worksheet. Okay, so let's have a look. So in the content, all right, so there's some templates for you to modify. Okay, please remember, don't just copy from the templates. Okay, so this is important, so let me repeat, don't copy from the templates. If you copy everything, I will give you 0 mark for sure. All right, so what you're going to do is to see like introduction, then you need to put something similar, which is similar, not the same, okay, which is relevant to the assignment you've done. I mean for the financial planning you've done, right? Okay, for example, in this template, you see that the aim of the task was to develop a saving plan so that there will be sufficient funds for my 18th birthday to pay 30% deposit on a car. So that's no problem. Okay, so you could use that. The saving period was from the time the task was issued to the 18th birthday. Okay, for this, for some of you, you might have different ideas. So some of you might start your planning next year, because some of you have told me that you don't have work right now. So you are planning to have work next year, right? So in that case, so for example, I might change the wording a little bit here. The saving period was from the time was from next year. Okay, so I change this part for next year. Okay, right? So okay, I might do it differently. All right, so I might do it in drawing so you could compare. Okay, so I'm not going to use this one. Okay, what I'm going to do is it was from next year. Okay, to the 18th birthday, that's all right. So if that's not your 18th birthday, you might say 19th birthday because it delayed for 1 year. So you might change that to your 19th birthday or something later, right? That's okay because we have a little bit flexibility for this assignment, right? Okay, saving were to be generated from the income deposit in a saving account of choice, right? So that's okay, but you remember what we've been doing in that Excel account, and make sure every one of you have a regular deposit of $300, all right? Okay, so you might specify that a little bit. Okay, saving were generated from the income deposit. Okay, so let's do a little bit different here. From regular monthly saving of $300 plus. into a saving account. So that's more specific for your assignment, right? The income being generated from 12-hour part-time work. Okay, so for this 12-hour part-time work might be different for each one of you, all right? So you need to check how many hours for your part-time employments, all right? So you might go back to you might go back to the spreadsheet. Okay, so you see, first of all, there are different incomes, and okay, from parents, from work, or from other income. All right, from the work, you see the number of hours. Okay, so that's 20 hours first year, there's 16 hours second year, and there are 16 hours again third year. Right, so the information is different to what the booklet suggests, so you need to change the content in that template, right? Okay, so the income being generated, okay, it's not 12 hours. You might say from 12 to 16 hours. Okay, part-time employment, and also there are the income, are they? So you might add something here. You might say, and other sources, if there's any. So if your parents sponsor you each month, that would be part of income, right? And there are some other people, they might have other income as well. So you need to have different introduction here. Is that okay? So you see, you just change some of the information. You could still use most parts of the template. In the what kind of industry, okay, so you need to look back. So if you're Domino's, McDonald's, you might say this is catering industry, right? It's catering industry, right? Or you might say fast food, or you might say restaurants industry, all right? And some of you work in different places. Like I know a student called Tyson who works in a cinema, so it's like entertainment industry. So you need to change that information for yourself. Okay, the balance of the car payment, 70% of the inflated price was to be borrowed through a loan of choice. Loan payment were calculated over a what period? So let's go back to see worksheet for loan. So for the worksheet for loan, so how many years we need to repay? Okay, time of the loan to be paid off. So if that's your decision to pay it off in 36 months or 3 years, okay, so you need to say something here. Over a, you might say 3 years period, or you might say like 36 months period, right? Okay, so that's the first part, which is the aim of this assignment. All right, the second part of introduction is the steps we take to solve the problem. Okay, so here you need to be very careful for what really happened to our to your work. Okay, so the suggestion in the this booklet is selecting a car at the first, but that's not really what we do in your first step, right? So that's not our first. So let's try to get what's the first thing we did for assignment. I mean for the financial planning. So the first thing we actually did is to calculate the income and expenses. All right, and then we get the extra saving, and then we select a account for each year, right? So you need to find that one, right? So I think that's the first one. We've done determine hours of work and hourly rates with respect to days work and age, right? And secondly, determining the potential earning, both weekly. All right, that's the second thing. All right, determining if any current saving will be used to start a saving account. Oh, sorry, I think that should be the first. All right, so let me change that. Okay, it's sometimes difficult. All right, so any saving to start the saving, that should be the first. All right. And then we go back to this one and that one. All right. All right, select saving account for comparison rates. All right, so you need to get the let's see. All right, so that's full. All right, and okay, so that's pretty much for our saving. All right, and then how about the loan? Okay, for the loan, first we get the car. Okay, so that's number 5, selecting a car, right? Then we calculate the inflation rates, if you still remember. Okay, so let's go back to have some revision. Okay, so price for the car, then you calculate the inflation rate for last 5 years using the statistics for Australian government, right? Then you calculate the inflated price after 3 years, right? Then the deposit, all right? So that's a few things we've done before we determine what would be the loan amount, right? So you need to calculate the inflation rate. So that would be 6. Okay, calculation of the inflation, inflated price. So that's 7. Then we calculate 30% deposit required for purchase the car. All right, then we calculate 70% borrow. Okay, then you select a loan based on interest rate, term and condition comparison made through the website. All right, so that's what we did. 10. Okay, so loan payment calculated over. All right, so that's 11. Right, over. We did that for 3-year period, so you just write 3 years period. That's okay. Is that okay? So remember, in your report, you need to put those things in correct order for your work. So so if you just copy the order, all right, so they are wrong. They are not the same as what you actually did in your financial planning, then I would deduct your mark. All right, try to rearrange those orders from the template. It's not difficult, right? You just retype them, if that's okay. Right, okay, so that's pretty much the first 2 parts of the introduction. So in the introduction, you should have aim for what this assignment is about, change those information from the booklet, all right, to suit your own financial planning, and for the steps required to solve the problem, which is mathematical modeling, you need to rearrange the order of those steps, all right? Okay, so make sure you've done that before we go to the next part, all right? So if you have any problem, please rewatch the video carefully and slowly, or you come to me to ask me questions or send me emails. Okay, all good. See you next video.